You invested, you were attentive. You texted first, you offered a serious relationship, but she went for the one who's not ready, still figuring things out, or just playing around. Sounds familiar? Why does she go crazy for the rebellious guy with tattoos at 20, but at 30, looks for someone reliable with a mortgage? We'll break down 3 key stages in a woman's life and reveal exactly how her desires, instincts, and choice of man transform at each of them. If you want to understand women and not just wonder what's wrong, watch this video to the end, and that's how you'll understand when you were wrong and how to become the chosen one. Between the ages of 18 and 25, many girls experience one of the most vivid and emotionally intense stages of their lives. This is the time when the key role in choosing a partner is played not by reason and calculation, but by innate instincts, hormones, and strong environmental influences, from friends and social networks to images from movies and TV series. During this period, the urge to feel is more important than the urge to understand. The attractiveness of a man is measured not so much by stability or intelligence, but by his ability to cause an inner storm. Confidence, charisma, easy detachment, physical shape, tattoos, daring style, leadership in the company, all of this instantly gets attention. He may not be the most successful, but if he stands out from the crowd and knows how to create a sense of unpredictability, he is already one step ahead. Girls at this age are looking for plot, not serenity. They fall in love with scenarios that could be scenes from a movie. He writes rarely, but when he does, I get goosebumps. He's weird, but I can't stop thinking about him. It's emotional swings like this that become the litmus test of real feelings. Stability, reliability, predictability, qualities that blossom at a more mature age, can seem boring for now, hence the famous, "He's nice but boring." A man can be passionate about his work, offer a serious relationship, be sensitive and attentive, but lose out to someone who triggers a surge of dopamine and unpredictability. This is the very drama that many girls at this age are unconsciously seeking. The phenomenon of friend zone appears. A guy can be a great friend, but does not cause the necessary emotional intensity. But the so-called bad guy, a figure that combines independence, confidence, inner freedom, and easy inaccessibility, instantly attracts. He doesn't push, doesn't need approval, doesn't cling, and that's what turns you on. The less he shows need, the more desirable he is. This is the psychological effect of selective availability. When someone is unpredictable but occasionally takes a step towards you, they become a magnet, especially at an age when hormones and emotions rule perception. Social media only reinforces this trend. Instagram or TikTok feeds are peppered with images of bad boys, alpha males, mysterious heroes with a broken heart and a bold look. Girls, comparing their reality to fictionalized stories, increasingly seek not peace, but experiences that make them alive, desirable, and involved in the story. The paradox is that many of these men will bring pain, doubt, instability, but they will be the protagonists of the most memorable chapter of this emotional youth. From 26 to 35 years old, a new stage begins in a woman's life, more conscious, calculating, and mature. This is the time when romance no longer overshadows reality, and emotions begin to give way to strategy. Instincts take a backseat, and stability, reliability, mental health of the partner, his financial situation, and development vector become the center of attention. By this age, most people already have experience, and usually not the most pleasant. There are disappointments, toxic relationships, attempts to inspire an infantile partner, experiences, time wasted, and conclusions drawn. All of this forms a new perspective. It's already clear what you definitely don't want. Everything that previously seemed romantic or mysterious is now perceived as a warning signal. A man who is looking for himself in his 5th year, living without goals, refusing responsibility, afraid of commitment, at this age he is no longer a hero, but a risk. Infantilization, emotional immaturity, lack of ambition, all these are perceived not as temporary phases, but as red flags. The image of the creative slacker who writes music but hasn't made up his mind yet no longer arouses enthusiasm. The man who lives by the principle, why sign a relationship? We just live and that's it, loses points before the race even starts. What matters now is not a spark that flares up for a second, but an even steady fire, one that warms day after day. What used to be called boring now takes on a new meaning. The same guy with glasses who didn't give you goosebumps before suddenly seems perfect for a serious relationship. Because he doesn't promise, he delivers. He doesn't manipulate, he negotiates. He doesn't get scared of tears, he stays close. At the same time, against the background of biological and social alarm signals, internal tension builds up. Doctors say it is desirable to give birth before 35. Friends tease, "You are not married yet?" Parents gently remind, "We dream of grandchildren." And here an internal conflict, almost philosophical, arises. I want to choose love, but I'm afraid of being alone. I want a man who is in my heart, but time suggests that maybe just normal is already good. An unsettling question appears. He doesn't seem to be mine, but what if the next one doesn't show up? This is a time of choosing between dream and reality, between the way you want it and the way you need it. And this choice is not an easy one, but it is the one that becomes determinant for the years to come. After the age of 36, a new chapter begins, one marked by maturity, freedom, and a return to oneself. It's more than just another phase of life. It's a different way of seeing the world. A woman no longer molds herself to fit others' expectations, no longer seeks approval, and no longer follows imposed standards. She now has the right to live as she chooses without needing to justify herself. This is a time of clarity. The illusions are gone, the experiences are real, and her inner compass is set. She's no longer trying to save anyone in a relationship. He'll change, you just have to wait, he has potential. Those thoughts are behind her. It's no longer hope that guides her, but reality. If you don't know who you are and what you want, I'm not standing in your way. That's not indifference, that's understanding, and exhaustion from unnecessary drama. She knows now time is hers alone, and she won't waste it on someone else's lack of growth. At this point, two equally valid but completely different paths can unfold, and both are right in their own way. The first is a mature partnership. It's more than just being together. It's a true alliance. No roles to play, no power games. She doesn't want a rescuer or an idealized figure. She wants a companion, a grounded, emotionally intelligent man who listens without interrupting, learns from his past, knows his worth without needing to dominate. It's a connection between two strong people who are perfectly fine on their own, but choose to share their lives, not out of need, but out of mutual joy. The second path is lightness and rediscovery. Sometimes a woman at this age simply wants to feel alive again, spontaneous, desired, vibrant. And that's not avoidance, but a declaration of freedom. A younger partner, a brief romance, a summer spark, not for the future, but for the present. No promises, no attempts to build something lasting, just a way to remember the thrill and delight of being in the moment. There may have been different phases before. She once chose for love and got hurt. She once stayed for the child. But now, she finally chooses for herself. She knows what she needs. In intimacy, where to seek pleasure and where to yield. In relationships, what matters and what she'll never accept. In boundaries, what's flexible and what's firm. Her confidence no longer depends on praise. It comes from everything she's been through, from hardships overcome, victories earned, and honest reflection. She no longer depends. Financially, she has work, projects, security. Emotionally, she's not afraid to be alone. Socially, others' opinions have lost their hold. The most liberated woman is the one who feels at peace by herself. She doesn't cling. She chooses. Now, a partner doesn't need to be the most attractive, most successful, or most clever. What matters is that he doesn't disturb her inner calm. This isn't the closing of a story, it's the beginning of the story of self. Now you understand how priorities change with age and why what used to work before doesn't work anymore. By the way, if you were wondering, do you want me to make the same video but about men? How their priorities change with age? Why in 20 appearance is important, in 30 stability, and after 40 silence and personal boundaries? If the topic is interesting, let me know in the comments down below.